Hey, Jose Monkey. You think you can find me?
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. It's Canadian Week! One of the things I notice a lot when doing these videos is what a large role recognizing businesses and logos plays in being able to find locations. Most of us are able to recognize logos that we see all the time, even if they're blurry or partially obscured. But unfamiliar logos can be much harder to make out. For example, I'm willing to bet that if you're from Idaho, Wyoming, or Montana, that you probably recognize this logo right away. That's the logo for Albertsons grocery store, but people from other parts of the US or other places in the world probably wouldn't recognize it. Similarly, I would bet that most people outside of Nebraska do not recognize this partially obscured logo. But residents of the Cornhusker State will no doubt tell you that this is a Runza logo. That's a fast food chain. Whenever I need to locate places outside of the United States, this is always part of the challenge for me. And Canadian locations can often be tricky because sometimes places in the US and Canada tend to look a lot alike. It's often these regional businesses that can help narrow down a location. This video would have been much easier for me to find if I had recognized some unfamiliar logos right away. So what can we see? This person starts the video by asking to be found and then does an amazing job of getting the heck out of the way so we can see the surroundings. Outstanding work. We can see a business here that has kind of a red triangle logo with something green at the top of it, but guys, I had no idea what that was. Fortunately, we can also see the words tire, parts, and service at the top of the building here. Next, we see some tall buildings that look like apartment buildings to me. As the camera continues to turn, we can see some more of the parking lot, and I noticed these shopping cart corrals here that were a distinctive yellow. I figured that was probably a good clue if you knew what store had corrals like that, but I did not. Finally, we can see a few license plates on the cars, but they're a little hard to make out because the camera was moving pretty fast. I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay guys, obviously this location is in Canada because this is Canadian Week. But I didn't know that when I first looked at it. In fact, I assumed it was the US. The auto shop that we see here seemed like the best clue. So guys, I just tried Googling the phrase tires, parts, service, and adding the word store to it, and I looked at the image results to see what I got. As I scrolled through the results, it wasn't too hard to spot this image, which I soon learned was for a Canadian Tire location. Canadian Tire has over 500 locations in Canada, and over 200 of them are in Ontario. Once I knew that, I looked at the license plates again, and I concluded that at least some of the plates I was seeing might be Ontario plates. But without any other information, that was going to be a lot of locations to check. Those yellow cart corrals that I mentioned didn't seem like the same color scheme as what Canadian Tire was using, so I suspected they were from another store. And I knew if I could figure out what store that was, that I could probably narrow this down more quickly. But guys, I had no idea. I tried all sorts of searches for yellow cart corrals. I even tried doing a Google Lens search on the corral itself to see if I can get any matches, but I didn't find anything helpful. So guys, I just started looking at Canadian Tire locations in Ontario. And I looked at many that were not right before I hit a lucky break. I was looking at a Canadian Tire location in Mount Forest, and as I was checking the street view for that location, I noticed that nearby we had yellow cart corrals, much like what we saw in the video. That was for a store called No Frills, and while that was not the location from the video, that gave me the missing piece of the puzzle that I needed to find this place. So I put together a quick data query to try to find every Canadian Tire location in Ontario that was within 100 meters of a No Frills location. And guys, that narrowed it down very quickly to fewer than 10 locations. And it didn't take long to find the right one. You are here in the parking lot of Carlo's No Frills in North York, Ontario. Bro, you didn't say, and guys, that was it. Oh yeah. Do you want to say it? Wait, really? Sure, go ahead. And guy, hold on, let me do it again. And guys. Chad, what are you doing? I'm trying to focus, shut up. And guys, that was it. Jesus Christ. I used Google Street View to confirm the location. We could see the Canadian Tire location and those apartment buildings, and I could see those yellow corrals for the shopping carts. Based on what I can see of the lines in the parking lot and the other cart corrals, I'm pretty sure you were standing right here. Okay, it's time to check which previous location was closest to this one. This time is in Season 1, Episode 117 in Toronto. That's about 18 kilometers or 12 miles away from this place. Guys, we're still just getting started with Canadian Week. I've got lots more videos for you. If anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that, on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.